Now, two of the ways that we typically see candidates show what they believe or show what they're going to do is through debates and commercials. Now, debates are just simply a chance for two candidates to argue the issues or to share what they're going to do. They have a chance to answer the exact same questions and debate the issues that are important, okay? There are a lot of different types of debates that are out there, okay? The example down here is what's called a forum debate. A lot of times there's a member of the media who's asking questions of the candidates, and they give their answers to those questions, right? And trying to show that their way or their method or their belief is a better one than the other person. There's also something called a town hall debate, which is the one on the right here. Now, a town hall debate is when the questions all come from the audience. So they're supposed to be random questions. They often aren't, right? But they'll basically pick a person of the audience. They get to ask a question of the two candidates. It was kind of funny. Back in the 90s, they did one on MTV, back when they actually had music on it. And they actually had President Bill Clinton on there. And one person asked him, Mr. President, boxers or briefs? So sometimes the questions are interesting that way, okay? You'll have issue debates sometimes where maybe the entire debate is spent talking about one issue, and that's it. Maybe healthcare, maybe gun control, it might be. Nowadays, we're seeing Twitter become a big place where candidates will argue back and forth as well. A lot of times debates are televised, especially the big presidential ones, but even you'll see state debates like for governor, or you may have debates that are held in auditoriums for like representative and that kind of stuff as well, okay? The ones we'll most likely see in our time, though, is to be the presidential debate, which will probably start happening this fall prior to election in November. Now, the other type of way we see a lot of candidates is through commercials. Now, campaign commercials are always interesting. We have the idea of mass media, right? We see different things online, on TV, in print, in newspapers or magazines. You read them on social media like Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and Snapchat as well. And so this way that candidates have a way to get their face, get their name, and get their beliefs out to everybody else and try to tell people, hey, you should be voting for me. Now, one thing you'll notice on ads is that ads that are made by the candidate always say, I'm Donald J. Trump and I approve this ad, or I'm Joe Biden and I approve this ad. There's a law passed called McCain-Feingold Act back in the early 2000s that said that candidates must claim the ads that they have. Otherwise, there's these things called third-party ads where groups will make an ad to support a candidate but don't really support a candidate, okay? Now, this kind of shows where the money's coming from. Candidates have very, very strict money rules of what they can and can't use their money for and how much money they can take from people, and that's why they have to show what they're using their money on in terms of their ads. Now, there are a lot of different methods we'll see in terms of commercials, and on our slide here, I have some examples on the right-hand side, but there's different ways that that candidates try to get you to vote for them in commercials. Number one is called bandwagon. They're like, hey, look, everyone loves me. Everyone thinks I'm awesome. They're voting for me. Vote for me too. That's bandwagoning, okay? There's also something called glittering generality. Basically, a candidate will say, I'm going to do this and this and this and this and this, but they don't say how, right? They kind of make themselves sound really, really good, but they don't exactly say how they're going to do it, okay? They might use symbols. They might try to use some kind of symbol to make an example of something or try and convince people that they're the best one to do this or they're the best one to take care of an issue. A very famous Ronald Reagan ad involving a bear is a great example of this. They had the bear represent the Soviet Union. You can check that commercial out on our slide here. One we see a lot of times those negative or attack ads and mudslinging, in which you're going to see candidates, rip on the other candidate, make fun of them, try to tear them down, that kind of stuff. Okay. The biggest thing I would say is campaign commercials aren't always the best place to get your information, but it's something that a lot of candidates produce to try and get their information out there. So check the commercials out and see what you think of them.